For today's video, we come to Clearwater Beach, my first Florida home. It makes sense to come here after my last day working for the man. There's a Ferris wheel straight ahead. They're having a little carnival at Pier 60 this weekend. Come on out. I'm not going there, but that would be nice. All right, look at this. Man, now this is real Florida. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome if it's your first time. I'm Tampa J. And 21 years ago, this June 1st, I moved to this beach with my family. I was in high school, sophomore year going into my junior year, 17 years old. One of the biggest and most exciting moves of my entire life. It was a time of change, a time of revolution, of celebration. I was pretty stoked. Now, a lot of kids moving during high school was not normal and might be totally the opposite, not always looked upon or frowned upon, but my family always moved, and I was already in my second high school before we moved down here, so I was used to change, and I didn't have a lot of friends to hold me back. And pretty much the only thing I was sad about was I was moving away from my grandfathers and my grandparents, and that was the hardest thing. But they would always come down and visit, and I would always come and visit them. That was it. How would you like to be a 17-year-old kid and hear that your family is moving to the place that you vacation to this beautiful beach? Now, it wasn't easy. We lived in a small apartment, a one-room apartment. I have a picture with me. I'm going to show you that spot that we moved to 21 years ago. I actually show it each year when I do my annual Clearwater Beach spring break video. I always show you our first Florida home. And I'm talking about this today. On this day, April 25th, 2025, just a couple hours ago, I quit my job. As I announced a couple weeks ago, I put in my 2 weeks, and today was the last day. I worked my last complete full day. Clocked out downtown Tampa. Man, it felt good. Man, it felt good. And I'm here to celebrate. One of my favorite places in all of Florida. And also, if you read the title, I've got some major news. Major news. And I'm really happy you're here, and I'm lucky you're here, and thank you for always watching. To those who believe in me and to those who support me, I really appreciate you being here and being a part of this channel. You're every bit a part of this channel as I am, and I wouldn't be able to make these decisions if it wasn't for you guys, if it wasn't for you. So I want to thank my work. I'll put a picture into frame. This was my desk. I just took this picture before I left. They had a farewell party for me in my office a few days ago. Everyone was, a lot of people work at hybrid schedules, so Wednesday the 23rd was the day everyone was in the office, so that's why we had the party the other day. So I want to thank everyone that I worked with in my work the past several years. I worked in 2 different departments. I will get into where I worked a little later. A lot of people are always asking me, where do you work? If you've met me in person, I've told you, I haven't really put it out there on the internet because you know, I love my job and I wanted to protect it. I didn't always plan to quit it up until recently, a couple months ago or whatnot. So I was careful. I worked in civil service, I will say that, and we'll get to that later. But I threw down my keys, my work keys on my desk, and I walked out with some good memories. I really appreciate working there. It was one of the best places I ever worked, but I knew today would be the day to come out here with all the excitement of me quitting my job and going full-time on YouTube, and to announce one of the biggest things, greatest moments of my lifetime. It is time for a change, guys. And I just want to say I appreciate your support, and what I'm about to tell you and what I told you last week about me quitting my channel, those 2 things are not negotiable. They're not up for debate. This is not something that we said, hey, let's just do this. This is something that's been a long time coming. It's actually a relief to get this off my chest. Myself and my fiance are in agreement with a lot of things right now, and she is the best person I've ever known, my best friend in the world. Chris the girl on YouTube, will also be documenting her reasons for what we're about to do, and make sure you go check out her video. I'll pin that to the comment so you can go check out and see why she has gathered, why we're doing this. Basically, you can see her point of view and my point of view. But I just want to say we appreciate the support. No criticism will be accepted. This is not a debate. We're gonna do this, like it or not. This is what we're doing. So, but I just want you guys to know that this is calculated, and there are reasons, so many reasons between the both of us why well, check this out. Ron John Surf Shop, which they have one on Clearwater Beach now. They didn't have that back when I moved here. There are so many reasons for what I'm about to say. Let's get into the first one. I just quit my job, so I don't have to go into work into Tampa every day like I've done for 20 years now. I've always worked in Tampa, always worked in that area, but more so the last 10 years, I've had to go to downtown Tampa / Brandon for work every day for my job. And now that it's done and I'm a full-time YouTuber, it does not matter where I hang my hat because I am my own boss. That's my situation. Chris, my fiance, who has the channel and is still going to continue to work, has worked from home ever since I've known her. And so basically she doesn't have to be anywhere specifically because she works 100% online. So she does not have to live necessarily anywhere, and specifically we do not have to live in Florida. I love you, Florida. I owe you a lot. Clearwater, Oldsmar, Tampa, Town and Country. Over the last 21 years, I have made a lot of memories. Specifically with the channel the last 7-8 years, made a lot of videos. I love this place, and I realize I am lucky to live here. It's a lot. In other people's opinions, it might be a lot better to live than most, and I agree with that. Hold on. I'm just gonna say it. It's true. We're leaving Florida. We're moving. We have decided to leave for many, many reasons. Does this mean I will not return to Florida? Absolutely not. I love the theme parks, Busch Gardens, Universal Studios, Walt Disney World. I will keep all my passes. I have events planned to always come back. I have ideas. One of my very favorite series, I will continue to update Florida roadside attractions and abandoned places. There are still so many things to see and do here in Florida, but yes, it is true. Chris and I, individually and together, are moving from Florida. Yes, this is about to be one of the most exciting times of our lives, and we are both excited for it for many reasons that are great. For the last 7 to 8 years, I have made a lot of videos, and if it wasn't on the weekend, paid time off from my job, or after work, I've had to make videos in Florida. And that's okay. There's a lot of things to see and do, but there's a lot of places outside of this state, outside of this country, that I would like to see. And now that this is my full-time thing and I don't have to hang my hat anywhere, I have more time to do so. So it really doesn't matter where I live, but it would be awesome to wake up in a different part of the country every day and to have more chances and more things that are readily available to go out and see and to go out and do. And that's part of my reasoning. And will I be back to Florida? Yes. The whole month of May will be one of the most transitional years of my life. We are planning on packing up the house and moving. Our lease is up here in Florida the first week of June, and we are moving. We were getting out of Florida, so we will be in transition all of May, And we will tell you, we will update you where we're going once it is 100%. But as for now, we just wanted to put it out there that we are leaving Florida, and we wanted to let our friends know, you know, what was going on in our lives and let you guys know. So thank you so much for being here, for always believing in me. It doesn't mean that we're leaving Florida, that it will not be my home. You can take the J out of Tampa, but you can't take the Tampa out of J. I created my channel name because I lived on Tampa Bay. I've always lived in Tampa, and it was just kind of a name I threw out there, and it was my handle commenting on other people's YouTube videos before I was even making videos, and I just kept it. And I will always be Tampa J, and I will always love Tampa and Florida, and I will always be back here. Actually, I have plans to come back to Florida in June, because this decision that was recently but not recently made, I have made obligations in Florida way back in October. So that's just to show you that I will always be coming back and forth to Florida, but now I will not be a Florida resident coming up in the very future. Me, myself, and my fiance, Chris the girl, who also has a lot of great reasons for why we're moving and where we're moving to. Please check out her video. That way you can, you know, you can feel and see why she wants to move too as well. I'll put a link. Yeah, so that's the big news. And I had to come out here to Clearwater Beach because that same excitement my family and I had those 21 years ago, that same excitement we had then, I have now with Chris and with you guys. And I am so stoked for what the future is going to bring. This will give me so much more opportunity. We are moving to a place that hopefully will be not at the bottom southeast corner of the United States, obviously, but will be more centrally located, and I will have basically more access to stuff that I haven't seen. It will be easier to get to. And also, my fiance, if you didn't know, she doesn't fly. She is not able to get onto airplanes. A lot of people can't fly, and us being have more freedom, and us being in a different location other than the southeast portion of the United States, that enables us to get in the car together and for us to see more stuff together. And eventually, you know, Chris would like to do this full time too as well. That's the ultimate goal. That's the plan. So us being, you know, in a central location and more accessible to more places that we haven't seen before is just amazing. Wow. I can't believe we've gotten here, man. I feel so lucky to be able to make this decision for so many reasons. And again, it wouldn't be the same with you guys. And it is very important that I put this out into the universe and say thank you so much for everything. Thank you so much. But yeah, so I quit my job today, and now we're moving from Florida. There has never been this much ahead, and there never will be. Well, who knows? I've said that before. It doesn't mean that wherever we're going that we will like it, that we will stay there. I see myself, and Chris does too, we have always moved our entire life. We've always just had that spirit. Chris has lived in like 6 other states, by the way. I've always moved within Florida and Indiana, and I've always had change with jobs and whatnot. We are both just very travel spirited people. We always like change. I see us moving around many of times, and we are lucky to be able to do that. We don't have kids. We don't have a lot of things holding us down, and now that I don't have a job and she can work anywhere, the opportunities, the possibilities are grand. And yeah, so yeah, that's the big news, guys. And we're going to be packing up. We're going to be doing a lot of work to move from Florida. There's a lot of things to be done. We've already began packing a little bit, but we just wanted to put out there, and this is a huge relief for us because we've had this plan for quite some time. This has been a thought for quite some time, but we didn't know we could do it, you know, up until the last couple months, and it is happening. We did not renew our lease in Florida, so it is a done deal. And I want to thank those people that are out there watching that are happy for us and understand what it is that we need to do. Thank you. Thank you so much. We love you guys, and we love our friends. We're gonna miss our friends. We're gonna miss certain things about Florida, all the places we used to eat and go, but we will be back, of course. And yeah, it's exciting. It's like I'm leaving, but I'm not leaving, because I'm able to go anywhere I want. Anywhere I want, and I'm very grateful for that. So thank you guys. I thought I'd do this here on the beach because it's a beautiful day. A lot of people are out here celebrating. I am now a full-time YouTube channel, and no longer, in the near future, I will no longer be a Floridian. I've got a picture to show you. I'm gonna head back to my car, show that to you, and then show you where that picture was taken. Now, I've showed this once before. It was spring break 2024. I came out here to do my annual video. This photo right here on my phone was taken in June 2004. This is the very first family photo of myself and my family ever taken as new Floridians. Got dad, mom, my brother, and myself right there. And this was around Father's Day, because we were actually going out to dinner to celebrate Father's Day for my dad. Also, my mom just had a birthday right before that. And so this is our first time going out. We were kind of dressed up a little nice, and we went to Shepherd's, famous seafood place right here on the beach. And that's what we were doing. I'm going to show you this spot because it's something I want to see again, because it was my first Florida home, and now knowing that I am leaving Florida 21 years later, I wanted to throw this in the video and share the excitement we were feeling then, because it's the same excitement I'm feeling now with Chris and with you guys. Much ahead. There was much ahead then and much ahead now. All right, guys, here we are. My first Florida home. So the owner of this home at least used to be the owner of the Snowflake Inn, the place we would stay every spring break on vacation. They owned this, and they knew we were coming to Florida, and they offered this apartment up here above the garage. Now right there is a 1-bedroom apartment. There's a kitchen, a little bit of living room, and 1 bedroom and 1 bathroom. So it's more than a 1-room apartment, but it's very small for 4 people, especially my brother and I were big kids. That photo I just showed you was taken right there along that rail. That's where we were 21 years ago. I'll never forget it. I always come back here and think of that moment, that little place we lived, the sacrifice, the chance we took just to move down here. We got rid of a lot of stuff, and I was so excited though. I was so happy that my parents did that. And if they hadn't made that decision, I wouldn't have met anyone in Florida. I wouldn't even started a YouTube channel. My life would have been totally different. I sure enough wouldn't have met Chris. It's just amazing. Sometimes the scariest decisions that we make, and I've had a few of them that turned into the best. And that's what I'm trying to say right here. There was much ahead then, and there's much ahead now. That's where that photo was taken. Love you, Mom. Love you. So I remember in my homeroom my sophomore year, this is when I was in Indiana, I would just doodle palm trees and sunsets, thinking about, dreaming about moving to Florida. I may still have some of those drawings. I keep stuff like that. But every time I see a palm tree, I think of that moment and how I just wanted to change, and how exotic Florida was to me. And I try never to forget. Over the past 21 years, I've tried to never forget that feeling. And sometimes you lose it. You lose it. Now, I talked about some positive things of why we're leaving Florida, but there are negative things. More specifically, grown tired of the hurricane situations. Documented several recently, Milton and Helene, Irma, Ian, all on video, all anxiety documented. I would just say I'm going to look forward to viewing Florida as a tourist once again, coming down, enjoying the fun, and then getting out. And that's no offense to people who lived here. Now, it takes a certain amount of time and appreciation in a person to stay here and deal with that. But it truly is insanity when these storms come and go. And granted, I was never worried about myself. I was always worried. What did it for me, I was always worried about my family, my dogs during those situations, not myself. And that is what made it stressful for me. Because, you know, take my house, take my car, but if something happens to my family, to Chris the girl, or to my dog, I expressed in those situations, that is not worth it for me. So one of the many reasons, well, I wouldn't say many, but that is probably one of the big downfalls of living in Florida, is facing all the situations with the storm. So I will not miss that. All right, look at that. Okay, I never went to a carnival out here at Pier 60. Maybe I'll come back for that someday. Also, the Sugar Sand Festival is going down. I'm exiting Clearwater Beach. I'm headed back to Tampa. I've returned to downtown Tampa just a few hours ago. Right inside of that building right there is where I resigned. They call it the county center. For the past 5 years, my desk has been inside that building. Now, was I always inside that building? No, because I had a very unique position within this county. All right, fast forward, I have now driven out to Brandon, which is Tampa's largest suburb. It's also the center of the county. So I decided that I'll save going into my job as far as specific detail for a later time. But I have worked in civil service for the past almost decade. I started with this county back in 2016, February. I left Napa Auto Parts and I took a position with this county at Fire Rescue. And I came to this parking lot to show you. This is the Public Safety Operations Complex. I worked here for 4 years. I actually started with this department in 2019 at their previous headquarters, which was over in the city of Tampa off of Hannah Avenue. And I worked for the fire department and I worked in the logistics. And my job was to help the firefighter, paramedic have whatever they need to do their job and to get it there. I worked with, specifically worked with tools and equipment, PPE, their fire suits, bunker gear, hose testing, any kind of tools or equipment they needed for the paramedics, the medical devices, the drugs, the narcotics, whatever they needed. That's what I did every day. And I freaking love that job. I got to drive fire trucks. I got to go to fire scenes. I got to I got to respond to a fire a couple times because they needed equipment to put out the fire, specifically fire foam for a chemical fire. And I was on call for at least 1 weekend a month. I couldn't go anywhere. I would get called in at like 2 or 3 in the morning sometimes 3 or 4 times a night. The adrenaline of that job was awesome. I really liked working in civil service. This county saved my dad's life at one time, got him to the hospital all right, on time, and just felt really cool working here, and I had a great time. The benefits were great. And then about 5 years ago, I took a position elsewhere in the county, and that's where I just resigned from. And I worked for the courthouse, and we were the official record keeping for the entire county. So the job I just resigned from, I really enjoyed it because I was very mobile throughout the county, and I worked with every single department in the county, with the exception of the sheriff and the school board. They were separate, and I basically was a mobile auditor, and I made sure that expensive items, assets as we called, stayed in place. And that's what I did. I conducted inventories, so to speak, on all county entities, not only for my department, for this county, but for the taxpayers. It is a civil service job. We had to keep the record straight. My job was actually a state statute that I would perform for every single department. So that being said, I know this county like the back of my hand. I've been in every single IT closet, every single garage, every single station, you name it, office building. My last inventory was yesterday. I finished up with the medical examiner. That was my least favorite inventory to conduct. Only because I did see things. I know I like a lot of spooky stuff on this channel, but that was the real life stuff. So if you know what the medical examiner is, aka the morgue, you know what I'm talking about. But that was all right. I've seen a lot of stuff in my life. I was able to handle it. That was one of the things about the job they asked me if I could do when I started. Got to meet a lot of great people, got to learn a lot of good things, and the benefits were great. Health insurance, all that stuff, yes, I'm leaving behind, but it's all been calculated and I will be good. I actually, I'm already signed up for health insurance, so I will be paying out of my pocket. The one thing I've done the last year or so, I said I've had this thought for a while, is I used my health insurance. I got all my checkups. I made sure I was healthy. I was good. I do have a history of heart disease in my family, also cancer in some parts. And this last year, I made sure I used all of that. I used all of my benefits to check my health as I had a right to do so. And before I quit my job, my insurance terminates today, actually right now, but my new insurance that I got recently is in effect. And oddly enough, it's weird because I've been paying more out of my paycheck for the insurance here, which is great, by the way. Great insurance. It's got a lot more benefits. But now I'm paying less out of my own pocket for insurance that is pretty comparable. There's only a few things that I don't have that I used to have for more money. I'm talking almost $150 less. So I lucked out and I'm happy with the insurance. Again, knock on wood, you know, but I have insurance. So that was one big thing I needed to do. And also, yeah, I am calculated everything and I'm really looking forward to continuing with plan A. And this has been, working here has been great. It's been my plan A, but now I have another one. So yeah, this is where I used to work, part of it. So just wanted to show you. Maybe someday I'll go into more detail. I'm heading home to the fiance, much ahead. And I'm home, and if this isn't evidence that we're moving, then I don't know what else to tell you guys. What do you think?
I think that it is a disaster in here. And yes, we are definitely moving. Yeah.
It feels good to get this off our chest.
We've been holding this in for so long, and I feel like you and I are not the best at
keeping
holding
secrets.
In.
I'm definitely not.
We can keep other people's
I can't
secrets,
hide a lie. Yeah.
For sure. But like when it's our own secrets and surprises and stuff, terrible at it. We've been dropping hints.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. If you've been really watching specifically both of our channels, I think people knew. Yeah,
people have guessed.
Yeah, that's a good point. Mm-hmm. And if you're not, you probably have no idea. This is a complete shock.
Yeah.
Because,
surprise.
Yeah. And as I said, check out her video because she's going to go into the reasons, you know, why she wants to move. It's a group thing. As I said, we both have our reasons and they're all great. Just a couple of bad ones for me.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Hurricanes and whatnot. That was so stressful.
Yeah.
A lot of underlying conditions here in Florida. What I was saying is I finally feel excited about visiting Florida as a tourist again.
Yeah, when you've been here for a long time, just like any place, it loses its magic, it loses its charm. And it's kind of a shame for Florida because it is such a big tourist destination.
Yeah.
And so it would be nice to come back and visit and like have that, oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice being back kind of feeling.
Yeah, I think I'm going to enjoy that. And one thing I failed to mention really is I'm a Rays fan and I'll be back for Rays games, of course. And
you'll be
Lightning.
back a lot. A decent amount.
I got stuff planned.
Yeah.
And you do too.
Theme parks and all kinds of stuff. And you are a full-time YouTuber now. So you can theoretically do whatever you want. So
and that's what I was trying to tell him. Yeah, this has all been calculated. and we pulled the trigger.
Mm-hmm. We did. We're doing it.
And I'm proud of you. And now it's time to celebrate.
I'm proud of you. Time to celebrate. Got a lot to celebrate.
Bella, we're moving. That's right.
We're moving.
We also went and got pizza. Celebrating again. 2 weeks ago we celebrated with pizza.
Yep.
Today we're celebrating pizza. You want some? We're moving, Bella.
We're moving. And our house, our future house, is going to have a backyard, a fenced-in backyard.
Moving on up.
She's going to be a happy camper. Just saying.
Right, Bella?
Ah, stop wiping
Don't drag your butt. She gotta go. All right, so that being said, we got a lot of work to do, and we'll be back. So it might be a little different come next week. I won't be going to work, won't be punching the time card, but I'll be my own boss. So expect a lot more videos ahead, and I'm really looking forward to doing that. There's never been this much ahead, babe. I did it.
Yeah, you did it. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Couldn't have done it without you.
No, you did it all yourself. You take all the credit because you're the one who worked hard and you're the one who got yourself to this point. So
yeah, but
all I did was cheerlead along the way, and that's it.
Behind every good man, there's a good girl.
That is very true. Woman.
Yeah. Well, Chris the girl. Yeah. You are a woman.
Yeah.
Beautiful woman. Anyways, we're going to end this video. Thanks for watching, guys. Check out Chris the girl. I am Tampa J, and there's much ahead. Know you're awesome. Know you're loved. And no matter who you are, what you're going through, just know there's much ahead. And that's it. That's the video.
That's it.
One of the most important videos of my life. And it's over. So, bye.